Welcome to Brand Runner, where we discuss creative productivity and building standout brands.
And today we're diving deep into something pretty significant.
Yeah, the latest from Canva, the visual suite. It's quite the update.
Definitely. It feels like they're really trying to merge the whole creative process with, the everyday productivity stuff.
Bringing design and those workspace tools together. Finally, maybe?
That seems to be the goal. And considering Canva's reach now, what is it, 230 million users?
That's the number they announced at Canva Create 2025, where they officially launched this. So yeah, any change they make has a huge ripple effect.
For sure. So our mission today, I guess, is to unpack what's actually in this visual suite.
Exactly. Features like Canva AI, Magic Studio, Sheets, even Canva Code.
And the upgraded photo and video tools, too.
Right, and really understand what it all means for creative work, for AI's role, and maybe the future of marketing teams, too.
It sounds like more than just, adding a few buttons. The core idea seems to be tackling that disconnect.
That friction, yeah. Moving between your design app, your spreadsheet, your doc editor.
It's exhausting sometimes. So their pitch is everything lives in one place.
A single format for presentations, videos, whiteboards, websites, even spreadsheets now.
Okay, so let's maybe start with the AI piece. Canva AI and Magic Studio seem pretty central.
They really do. It's not just a feature tucked away. It's like right there on the home page when you log in.
Alongside your designs and everything else?
Yeah, they're framing it as making designing as easy as having a conversation. Bold claim.
Very bold. How did that actually work in practice? Is it like a chatbot for design?
Sort of. Take the design for me feature. You can apparently give it a prompt, like create a presentation about a trip to Porto.
And it just makes one?
It generates a starting point, a draft. Then you use a chat interface to refine it.
Ah, okay. So it's not meant to be perfect first time you collaborate with the AI.
Exactly. Change the layout, swap images, add notes, all through chat. Then there's draft a doc.
What's that for?
You give it basic details, say your Porto trip info, and it creates a visual document, like a personalized itinerary that looks good from the start.
Making the info more engaging, I suppose, not just bullet points.
Right. And if you need unique visuals, there's create an image.
The AI image generation part.
Yeah. But what caught my eye is uploading a reference image. So if you need a LinkedIn ad graphic, you can show it your existing luggage brand photos for style consistency.
Oh, that's clever. Maintaining brand look and feel is always a challenge with AI images.
And people are clearly using these tools already. They said Magic Studio features have been used over 16 billion times.
Wow. Okay, so AI isn't new to Canva users, but this integration feels deeper.
Definitely. And they specifically mention integrating Magic Studio with the new Canva Sheets, too.
Which suggests using AI to help create content from data, maybe.
Could be. Let's look at some specific Magic Studio tools they highlighted. Magic Write.
Right, they can now apparently fill in spreadsheet cells based on text prompts.
So you could prompt it to write, like, marketing taglines or product descriptions directly into cells.
Seems like it. Think about generating variations quickly. That could save hours.
Huge time saver. And bulk translate for
Yeah.
localization.
Yeah, adapting content for different regions and languages quickly. Essential for global brands.
And bulk create is still there, right? For making lots of versions of one design.
Yep, that's a staple. And Magic Resize, too, changing formats while trying to keep the layout intact.
Still super useful for social media campaigns.
But the really new, interesting one in this area seems to be Magic Charts.
Oh, okay, tell me more. What's magic about them?
Well, you can connect it to your data sources, Google Analytics, HubSpot, things like that.
Okay.
And it doesn't just make a chart. It apparently analyzes the data and recommends the best chart type to visualize it effectively.
Oh, that's smart. Like it tells you if a bar chart or a pie chart is better for this specific data.
Exactly. And the charts can be interactive and update in real time if the source data changes.
That could genuinely change how people work with data, making it less intimidating and more visual.
Turning raw numbers into something you can actually understand and present easily.
Which leads nicely into the next big piece, Canva Sheets.
Right. Not just charts from data, but a whole spreadsheet environment.
But they're framing it differently, aren't they? As a visual and creative workspace.
Yeah, not just rows and columns. They mention magic insights and magic formulas, too.
More AI.
Sounds like it. Using text prompts again to automate data tasks within the spreadsheet itself.
So trying to make spreadsheets less purely functional, maybe? More intuitive?
And more connected. The data in Sheets can dynamically link to your charts in presentations, apparently.
So update the sheet, and the presentation chart updates automatically.
That's the idea. Less manual updating, fewer errors.
And they really push the visual angle. What was that quote?
Something like, with drag-and-drop visual layouts, your spreadsheets aren't just functional, they're beautiful.
Okay, aiming high there. Making spreadsheets beautiful.
It signals a different approach, though. Less about complex formulas, maybe more about clear communication of data.
Interesting. Now, the one that really made my ears perk up was Canva Code.
Oh, yeah. That sounds potentially revolutionary, actually.
Creating interactive experiences without knowing how to code, that's a big promise.
It really is. The idea is you just describe what you want to build, a quiz, a simple game, a calculator,
In plain English.
in natural language, yeah. And it generates the necessary HTML, CSS, whatever code is needed.
Wow. That lowers the barrier significantly for so many people.
Think marketers, educators, small business owners,
Yeah.
anyone with an idea for something interactive, but no coding skills.
And these aren't just standalone things. You can embed them.
Yeah, embed the coded widgets into your Canva designs, like presentations, or publish them as simple websites.
Did they show examples? What are people building with this?
The trial group examples were wild. A study guide tool, a song recommender, a small business website, even a horror game based on someone's dog.
Seriously. Okay, that's diverse.
Also, a floral design site, a fitness tracker, kids puzzles, a dashboard for a boba shop, a multiplication game.
It really covers a huge range. People are finding all sorts of uses.
And the speed is key. They talked about generating hundreds of lines of code in seconds.
Potentially saving weeks of development time for something custom, that's a genuine game changer for agility.
Absolutely. Okay, moving on from code, what about video? It's so crucial now.
Right, and the enhanced video tools are baked into this whole visual suite experience.
So a consistent interface, hopefully. Not like switching to a totally different program.
That seems to be the aim. They mentioned timeline-based editing, which is familiar, scenes, a playhead.
Makes sense. And drag and drop for adding clips and audio.
Yeah, simplifying the mechanics, plus adding animations, transitions, and direct sharing to social platforms.
Basically making video creation feel more like the rest of the Canva design process.
Yeah.
More accessible.
Exactly. And they didn't forget photos either. There's an upgraded photo editor.
Built right in.
Uh-huh. Two things stood out. The background generator.
Okay, what does that do?
Lets you replace an image background with an AI-generated one, but it tries to match the lighting and mood of the original subject.
Ooh, that could be really useful for product shots or profile pictures without needing a green screen.
For sure. And also better object manipulation, pointing and clicking to move, resize, or recolor elements within an image more easily.
More granular control then. Streamlining that whole visual polishing stage.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of features. Let's try and bring it all together. What does this actually mean for creative productivity day to day?
Well, the biggest thing is probably just consolidation. Fewer apps to jump between.
Having design, docs, sheets, video, code snippets all in one place, that should mean a smoother workflow.
Less friction, less context switching. That alone boosts efficiency.
And the AI feels like a major productivity play, too.
Definitely. Automating first drafts with Magic Write, getting design ideas, analyzing data with Magic Insights. It frees up your brain.
Lets you focus on the higher level creative thinking, maybe, instead of the grunt work.
And iterating should be faster, too. Quickly trying variations, resizing things, getting AI suggestions.
You can experiment more freely, perhaps. Arrive at better results quicker.
That seems to be the promise. And the accessibility factor is huge.
Empowering people who aren't, specialist designers or coders.
Right. Giving them tools to create professional-looking content, interactive elements, videos.
Yeah.
It democratizes the process.
And having that consistent experience across all these different media types probably helps flatten the learning curve, too.
Good point. So what about the broader role of AI in design itself? How does this shift things?
It feels like Canva is really pushing AI as a creative companion, integrated everywhere.
Not just a bolt-on feature, but woven into the fabric of the platform.
Yeah. Generating ideas, suggesting content, refining visuals. It's always there to potentially help.
It supports that democratization idea again, making sophisticated AI capabilities accessible to everyone using Canva.
And unlocking new possibilities, right? Like generating those unique images or interactive code elements that were just impossible for most people before.
It's generative AI becoming deeply embedded across the entire creative workflow from start to finish.
So let's think about marketing teams specifically. How might this change how they work?
Oh, I think the impact could be pretty dramatic. Efficiency is the first thing that comes to mind.
Campaign planning, asset creation, analyzing results, potentially all in one space.
Exactly. Streamlining that whole process. Less time wasted exporting, importing, switching tools.
Collaboration must be a big part of it too.
You'd think so. Teams working on different parts of a project. The visuals, the copy, the data analysis simultaneously within Canva.
Could lead to more cohesive campaigns maybe? Better feedback loops?
Potentially. And it empowers more people on the team.
The non-designers.
Yeah. Maybe the social media manager can quickly create visuals, or the content writer can build a simple interactive quiz without needing to wait for a designer.
Freeing up specialist designers for the more complex strategic work.
Precisely. And the data side, Magic Insights, Magic Charts, brings data closer to the creative process.
Making it easier for marketers to visualize performance, understand what's working, and make data-driven creative decisions faster.
That's the potential.
Yeah.
Plus, features like Magic Resize and Bulk Create are perfect for the demands of modern marketing.
Needing to rapidly create content variations for dozens of different platforms and formats.
So you have faster creation, better collaboration, more data-informed decisions, broader participation. It seems geared towards making marketing teams more agile and effective.
Okay, so wrapping up, the Canva Visual Suite 2.0, it really feels like a significant step.
Yeah, integrating creativity and productivity with AI like Magic Studio, Canva Sheets, Canva Code acting as the connective tissue.
It definitely impacts how we might design, work with data, build interactive stuff, the whole workflow, really.
It seems set to change quite a lot for a lot of people.
And maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Consider how being able to, say, generate code just by describing it, or instantly turn data into visual stories. How might that fundamentally change not just your workflow, but how you solve creative problems, how your team collaborates? What new things does this actually make possible for you?
Yeah. Lots to think about there.
This was Brand Runner. Thanks for listening.